Welcome, Internet, to the first ever Senpai Notice my podcast. I'm your host, Miguel Zarate, alongside the woo kid. Don't do it too loud and break my fucking mics. John Valencia.
What's up, everyone? Whoa!
And to my right, breaking his podcast virginity, is Jose Mod.
Hey, what up, guys? It's your boy.
So anticlimactic.
You gotta talk a little louder than that, sir.
No, we don't need to do that. Not today.
We're not an ASMR channel.
Why not? We should be.
Well, let me explain what we are actually, transition. We are doing our first ever anime podcast. Now, John and I have done podcasts together before. We have done Podcast Equipped, Podcast Equipped, and then we rename it at some point.
Gaming, I think it was.
No, we switched it to the OC cast.
Oh, that's right. So we did. We used to do a video game podcast together, but that was a few years ago, and we haven't done any since. So we decided, what's one thing we all love, guys, that we do consistently enough?
Sex.
Listen to music.
Oh, well, we could also do a great music podcast, I think. But no, we decided to tackle anime. And I don't know why, because maybe there's not enough podcasts out there for anime.
There's not enough good ones for anime.
Well, who says this is going to be a good one?
We'll try. We'll
do our best.
We'll definitely try.
So we're still coming up with all the organization of what the podcast is going to be. But for now, let's just talk about our anime history. Let's just briefly, for a few minutes, talk about why we love anime, what we connect with anime about, maybe some of our favorite genre shows. What?
This is going to be a bad anime when we already go off on an arc.
We're going off on a filler?
on a flashback arc.
The worst part about this is that I have a different anime background than you guys because I started it in Spanish.
Hey, it's fine. It's fine.
It's like a weird variety of what I watched as a kid.
At the end of the day, we get to bring it around to hey, anime connects us all together. Friendship. Yay! Which is a theme of almost every shonen show anyways, so it's fine. We're just another shonen to add to your list of long-lasting shows that will never fucking end. I'm looking at you, One Piece. Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, Naruto.
Ugh. This is why I don't watch shonen. Let me start off there. I kind of don't watch shonen. I hear about this My Hero Academia or
My
Boku
Hero Macadamia is freaking amazing.
Macadamia? Like a macadamia nut?
Like a macadamia nut, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have they jumped on that yet? They're there has to be something. I imagine there's something in Japan that is My Hero Macadamia.
My Hero Macarena.
My Hero Macaroon.
In Japanese, though.
What's a macaroon in Japanese?
No, I was thinking What was I watching last night? I was watching, I think, they were making some anime, and in the translation, they made it a Macarena reference.
Oh, no. You were watching, did you know Extra?
Yeah.
Because they did it with
a video game.
Yeah, it was with Final Fantasy X.
Sorry, guys. It was Final Fantasy X. Kind of anime, right? Well,
yeah,
kind of
I
anime.
think it was Titus, and he's isn't this the Macarena city or something?
Macarena Temple? Macalania.
Awful.
I was watching. Okay, so I thought anime, but it was just Final Fantasy X, which is a terrible anime. Anyways, I don't watch shonen to start off, so I'm not going to be your shonen expert. I'm guessing that's going to be this guy who watches.
I'm actually going to be your manga guy.
Well, your manga, your shonen, your fucking
everything that's trash and wrong with the anime community.
Whoa! We're not saying.
Hey, no. It's controversial.
Don't stop this video.
We're going to be controversial.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, we make this for us, not for them.
Oh.
Damn, they're episode 1 and these guys are ready? Fuck.
I like it.
And John, what kind of anime you watch, man?
Well, I like to watch the blah blah if I can
He
English.
doesn't watch anime because there's no good horror animes.
Ooh,
there is
no such thing as a good horror.
But they do have these psychological animes, which I pretty much go straight towards. This season, it's Promised Neverland.
The Promised Neverland. Holy shit. I want to talk about this so much, Jose. But you're not even caught, and we're not. We'll tell you when spoilers are going to happen. Of course, we will do something to signal spoilers. At the end of this
timestamp or something.
Yeah, at the end of this episode, we're going to go into spoilers for the last part of the episode. So we'll tell you when that happens. But to not spoil anything, The Promised Neverland, Jose, do you know anything about the show?
I do not know. I just imagine something like Dead Man's Wonderland.
No, it's worse. It's better than Dead Man's Wonderland. It actually.
The anime or the manga?
I didn't even finish the manga. Because I know the manga is slowed down so consistently.
And there's 50 other characters they never introduced.
Yeah, in the show?
Man, yeah.
Dead Man Wonderland as an anime, I don't touch the manga. It didn't do anything for me. It was I got 5 episodes in. I was like, oh, okay. And then I had watched it after it had already like ended, so I already knew there was no season 2 or anything. Which I don't know why I watch it anyways then. But
yeah, so usually like the psychological, kind of like the twisted, messed up animes are my things, and I also like watching some action animes as well. That's where my main genres are for the anime community.
and as we know, now I was about to say as they know, they don't know.
Not yet.
Romance, drama. That's my
Smut.
shit. That's my
Smut.
shit.
I love
I do
smut.
watch a lot of smut. Like I recently started my anime listing, like, and I've gone through like shows that I've watched to try and take off.
Oh,
God, I have to go back so far, and I'm like, did I watch this? And then I'll watch episode 1. Oh fuck, I do remember this. I did watch
No,
this.
you'll watch like the first like 5-6 episodes. And you're like, it looks familiar, but
And then you realize-
anime I've watched. It's like, have I watched that? Have I read that? No, I don't remember that.
And then you get to the twist. Oh yeah, I know this now.
You're like, and you start filling the plots. Like, what was the most recent one? It was they added something to Crunchyroll, and I'm always looking for like any drama, romance stuff to watch, which is kind of sparse on kind of Crunchyroll, which kind of makes me sad a little bit. But it was the one with the dude. See, I don't even remember the names of these shits.
Wait, is it the big guy?
No, wait, what?
I don't
It was the one with the bike. The biker guy. He dies at some point. Dating, you told me, we talked about this because you were like, oh yeah, I read that too, I watched that before. I can't remember. We're not, God, this is a great podcast.
So just explain the plot to me one more time. Just gonna be like, oh yeah, that sounds real. Oh yes. A town where you live.
There you go.
A town where you live. See, I
remember it.
Oh my god, that was a fucking emotional roller coaster.
I'm just saying, I watched like a lot of, like, it took me 5 episodes of that to be like, oh, I did watch this.
Oh, you are that emotional anime.
Yeah. So I wanted to also just go through like a couple of our favorites. For me, what is I made my list the other day for you. It was like my top 5, and I changed it quite a bit.
Oh, did you? Okay.
What's
So,
at the top of my
Number
list?
5.
Number 15.
Clanad.
Clan ad for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get into official list because maybe that's probably a future episode. I just kind of wanted to,
Like, okay, so your list right now.
like,
off the top
I'm not
of your
even
head.
going to go for, I'm not going to even put them in order, but like, if just to give them an idea of what our favorite kind of shows are, like Dora, for sure.
Okay.
Clanad.
Mm-hmm.
Bunny Senpai, which, that just jumped up the fucking top of the list. Can we just talk about how good Bunny Senpai was?
The fucking writing is phenomenal on it. And I'll
Yes.
say the manga isn't as good as the anime.
What did you just say?
What
did he say, John?
I didn't hear because I was shouting out.
said-
Right.
I said the manga isn't as good as the anime. And it's
For the record, Jose is an avid manga reader.
Manga.
Yeah. I have read a lot of stuff.
How many of that stuff gets adapted, Jose? Which makes me sad. Like, that would make me sad as a manga reader.
Well, like watching Silent Voice. There's
Okay.
like so much stuff that they left out.
I've heard several people say like read the manga.
Yeah, just read the manga. Just read the manga. If you ever get the chance, just read the manga.
Like I heard like the whole first part of the movie, which is
It's not.
They're-
It doesn't start
when
as a
they're
flashback.
younger
Yeah, it
days,
doesn't start as a flashback. It starts.
I
Off,
heard that's just how it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then you're just like, oh, so why? That's why he's
that's
alone.
what. Yeah.
That's why he has anxiety. That's why he throws up whenever people look at him.
Gotcha.
You're
God,
like, oh,
I need to read that. Like I've been meaning to read that, but this is an anime podcast. So stay
10 out of 10 would read.
10 out of 10 would read.
Stay the course.
Would read again.
And what about you? Say some of your like favorites. I know like.
Oh, I love all the manga, all of it, every single one I've read. No such thing as doujinshi in this house.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see. Yu Yu Hakusho is one of my favorites.
God, it's classic.
It's so good.
I forgot to throw Bebop and FLCL in my
Oh my god.
I feel like everybody loves those shows. It's like
They're cult classics.
like FMA Brotherhood and just all
oh
like
my god, yes.
the only real shonen I ever got into was Bleach, but
And did you watch all like 700 plus?
I got to the end of the Eisen arc and then I was like done.
Yeah, because
I didn't even finish the Eisen arc.
See, I watched like maybe 60, 70 episodes.
Because at that point, what's the point in watching? After he was the main villain of the show,
Mhm.
they may or may not have defeated him. Blah blah blah. And
no, they're about to defeat him, and then somebody else comes along, and they go into that side arc.
Oh, fucking the fillers.
And then Ichigo like learns a bunch of powers, and then forgets about them.
And then that's why I just can't stand Shonen. The fillers are terrible. I'm gonna go on a tangent on Shonen. Why it's garbage.
That's for another episode.
That's for another episode.
That's definitely for another.
Anyway,
episode.
sorry, I interrupted you.
So Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin. Oh my god, I love that one. I just hated the third arc.
Once again,
Yeah, it's because like it ends. It should have ended with Shishio. It should have just ended with the Great Fire arc. And
I
that's
didn't
it.
finish Rurouni Kenshin. There's a lot of shows I didn't finish because they're too damn long.
It's like 80 episodes.
It's too damn long.
Too damn long.
It's 60 episodes too much for you.
No, well,
I didn't even finish Full Metal Alchemist. That's all.
That's like 55 episodes.
And I still couldn't finish it.
But you finished Brotherhood.
No, I didn't finish Brotherhood.
What the?
Did you watch any of the movies?
I
No,
watched
same
one of
movies.
them.
Ooh, which do you remember which one?
No,
Probably the
it's
first
been
one.
it's been a while.
Yeah, it's
Been a while.
way too long. Let's see. Dragon Ball Z, because I grew up as a kid in Mexico.
Well, you grew up as a kid in America. You probably like Dragon Ball Z too.
No, but
I mean, I didn't even see. If we're gonna go down that route, it's like Pokemon,
Damn it! You took my bit.
Cardcaptor Sakura,
I
love
Yu-Gi-Oh,
oh my god, Yu-Gi-Oh!
I think that was
Sailor fucking Moon. See, fuck
That,
you.
that was one I did not get into.
As a little boy, it was not really cool for me to like Sailor Moon, but my brother did, and I was like, my little brother or my older brother, so I just liked what he liked, part of the time.
Your Oni-chan.
My Oni-chan. Yeah, so we dug Sailor Moon, and that show was fucking awesome. All right, fuck you.
Nothing wrong with magical girls.
You just talk shit about them.
We all want to be magical girls.
Maha Shoujo, Maha Shoujo.
But yeah, so obviously I think that's how a majority of us got into anime, was like those shows. I remember just flipping through the sci-fi and always looking at they have like random anime shows on at like random times in the middle of the night. And I remember being up late at night and always being like, what the fuck is this show? And it was like, nope, nothing like Pokemon, nothing like
I think like
Sailor Moon, nothing like them. It was like,
We would
why are
watch,
they
like,
so much older? Why is this so gritty?
why why is there a plug in this woman's back?
Oh my god, Chobits.
No, it wasn't Chobits. It was this girl, she plugged into a computer. I've never watched it again, but this is stuck with me
Are
forever.
you sure it's not Elfen Lion?
It's,
No,
no,
it's
it was
not.
John.
No,
This is in the 90s.
90, so Eon Flux maybe.
What?
But that was on MTV.
No.
No.
It was this weird. It was in Japanese too, and it was on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Ghost in the Shell?
And it could have been. No, I don't think it was Ghost in the Shell, but I've seen it since. It's like she can plug into the internet and do stuff. It might have been a movie too, but I don't know. And I remember seeing Princess Mononoke on TV in Japanese,
Oh,
on like
wow.
satellite TV in like the mid 90s.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that's my
Jesus,
my
don't break my
recollection
laptop.
Break the laptop.
recollection of
Lose all the
anime,
audio.
of how I got into it. And then obviously I became a middle schooler and slowly started becoming more accessible in the US.
Oh, I remember those AMVs. Naruto AMVs for Linkin Park songs.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh god, so many Naruto AMVs.
What about you, John?
What about you, John? Talk
Favorites.
to us.
So, favorites. So, we're giving top 5.
No, we're just
Just like off the top
just
of your
yeah.
head.
'Cause-
So, guaranteed, like, if anybody asked me, like, what my favorite anime would be, it's probably Future Diaries.
ooh, see, and I forgot Future Diaries. How the
Fut-
fuck so much
Future Diaries, like, brought something new to the table. Like, just like, well, not new,
A lot of
but like,
people are
at the
gonna-
time, like, using your damn cell phone as a diary to avoid death. And
You just like
cause
the
death.
game. You like the game genre.
Yes, I like the survival.
I don't know what
aspect of
do
it.
you call those?
It's a survival game.
Yeah, but is there like a genre name for it? Is it
Survival.
Okay.
Just a
It's
survival
horror
game
survival.
genre.
like Batum,
Batum,
which
yes.
also never got an ending, which is a damn shame.
Yeah, so that Batum is up. I would put that probably. Nah, maybe not.
It wasn't that good. Batum was fun, but animation was ugly. It was crude. It was etchy as fuck, and
Let's see.
Gotta love the etchy stuff, man.
I don't know,
You gotta love
it
it.
depends on how it's done. It could it's probably sounds stupid, but it can be done tastefully, sir. Where it's not
Can it really,
over.
though?
I mean,
Can it?
I'm like, all right. So High School of the Dead, something like that, where the
Yeah.
fucking goons are fucking dodging bullets and shit. It's a little overkill.
I
don't
forgot
mind-
about High School of the Dead.
I don't mind a classic boy falls on girl, gets fucking face full of tits.
Nisekoi?
Probably Nisekoi, yeah. Nisekoi, I don't remember being that edgy.
It was pretty.
Was
bad.
it ecchi?
It was
I
pretty
don't know.
bad.
Not as
It's not as bad as you remember, but it was pretty ecchi.
High School of the Dead bad though.
Oh God, no.
See, then no. I'm saying there's level of ecchis that I can take, and Batum kind of was gratuitous in it.
Yeah.
And it kind of ruined the parts of the show for me. But
Sorry, John.
I digress. Yeah.
So the ones I know you guys fucking don't watch was do da 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 da.
No, I did try.
But no, see, but here's the thing with do da da. The first 3 episodes does not
reflect the
full
then that's
series.
just terrible fucking
Like,
writing then.
That's what kind of got hooked was the first 3, and then it changes to like something else completely different.
I tried to watch it, and
I watched the first season when it was on Crunchyroll.
I still need to watch the second season. But I watched like the OVA to it, and I'm just like, it's kind of getting ecchi, so I'm gonna might.
Well, but OVAs are you gotta treat
know
OVAs like a
OVA.
little different because they
But even with
they
the first
explore
episode,
a little bit more than the regular.
twincest
Well,
in the first
I think
episode.
you mean
Hey,
of
man,
the second
when-
season.
When you're watching anime, you gotta just accept there might be some incest splashed in there every once in a while. I'm sorry if we're talking
it's
truth.
true. No, you're true.
We gotta
You're right,
fucking
you're
talk
right.
about
You're
it.
definitely right.
There's
You're
incest
definitely
in the
right
anime, and you know what? Fuck it. Whatever. There's no kink shaming, man, sir.
It's man.
It's sir.
There's no kink shaming.
It's Baka
Not on
Gaijin.
this podcast.
It's Baka Gaijin.
Stay off my Tumblr. Anyways, John.
And I think like for the ones that like the 2 recent ones that I watched recently would be King's Game, just a completely
You
fucked
told
up
me
anime.
to watch this. What break down the premise again for me.
But basically, they have to figure out why they're playing King's Game, which anybody from anime community should essentially know. It's the game where you draw whoever has a certain number, whoever is the king says.
Oh,
3 and
is that
4
the one like where you have the sticks?
You have the 6 and you draw.
Okay.
Except in this one, they twist it where someone else is king. They don't know who the king is, and the king is giving the commands to the phone. Like,
is he like a god or something?
Seat number so and so has to touch so and so's ass.
Okay.
If you don't do it, face the punishment.
But I'm guessing it's not simple stuff like that. I'm guessing it's like fucked up shit. Like,
The more the game gets, like less people get eliminated through the game. And like I'm gonna use an example for one of the other games that the main character was in was you have to forget from where you are about 50 miles away. You have to get there every 4 hours. Whoever's in last place dies.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
So once again, it's another survival game.
It's essentially a survival game, but this one's just like over the top, fucking brutal. Like what the fuck?
I remember Eden of the East. That kind of reminds me of something
Yeah, but that
like
one's more tame than this one.
Well, of course.
A lot more tame than this one.
I've never even heard of King's Game. That's like
King's Game, I think.
other
was
than when you told me about it.
year.
But what I'm saying, I normally go through a list of every season, and I don't remember King's Game.
Yeah, that one I'm just.
What's it on?
It was on Crunchyroll.
Was it on Crunchyroll?
Yeah, it's on Crunchyroll.
Is it still on Crunchyroll?
Let me check.
Yeah. Well, anyways.
But then that was like one
You
of
have
the
to
good
check
ones.
right now. We'll just look it up later.
While he's talking about that or looking that up, one of my favorites, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, is a Sword Art Online.
Yeah, the SAO.
Holy shit, I love Sword Art.
But there's nothing to be ashamed about. A lot of
Oh
people,
no, I know,
a lot of people
but
love
it's like
Sword Art.
it is like the worst of like animes you can like. It's awful.
Is it truly awful? I thought the
first half of the first season is really good, and then you get into the fairy thing, and then there's like a scene where there's like tentacle porn kind of.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Are you talking about this most recent season?
It's this is still in the first season. So
okay.
there's
I don't remember the fairy thing.
So after they get out of Sword Art, and
Remember the fairy, the second season?
No, the second season of the second half of the first season.
No,
so basically, they get out. Kirito's looking for Asuna.
I watched the first season,
and then Asuna tries to break out of the prison.
Right, she's in that.
Oh,
that
I
tower,
remember
she breaks
now.
out, and then there's these 2 fucking interns in the fucking game, in the fairy game, and it gets really weird, and it's kind of like implied that they did shit to her.
Anyways, yeah, it's still on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, it's
Anyways, King Game is on Crunchyroll.
quality
Okay, quality anime.
anime. Quality.
I don't know. I really did like Attack on Titan for the longest time too, but then something.
The wait for that was too long.
Yeah,
It was a really long wait.
I hate waiting in between long seasons.
But that was like
This is
3-4
another big
years
problem with
waiting.
anime. But we gotta understand, like they gotta draw all this stuff and make it happen. It's not like these poor people work hard.
They work just as hard as animation YouTubers.
Well, yeah, way harder.
Just as hard. Just as hard.
Way harder.
Just as hard.
Yeah, they work.
They have a team. YouTubers are by themselves.
It's not a job.
It's a lifestyle.
I try to say that with English, but you guys give me shit.
I don't know what that means.
Sorry, sir.
But yeah, any more
More animes?
Oh, I forgot one.
Is it
Akame ga Kill.
Oh fuck!
See, I really do like some action stuff. Like this season, I'm in deep with Shield Hero,
I still need to start.
and I like a lot of action, but for some reason, like the shonen just genre doesn't do it for me. And that's what a lot of the shows are these days. They try to be like either they are shonen animes like Bleach and Black Clover and My Hero Academia.
My Hero Macadamia.
Yes, My Hero Macadamia. But no, like those shows, it bothers me that they could go from scene to scene and just jolly old. Like there's always a joke in the middle of a fight, and I fucking can't stand that. Not to say that Akame Got Killed doesn't have that, but I just feel like it's one season of I get a beginning, a middle, of an end, and an end. And I think that's why I like shows like Akame Got Killed, because I know there's an ending coming at some point. It's not like, well, wait 10 years from now and maybe we'll give you an ending.
Or like Recreators, where it was just all over in like 20 some episodes.
And I'm okay with that. Recreators was a great show.
It was awesome.
It was genre combining.
What's her name? I cannot remember her name.
The
She is waifu.
When the Madoka. Oh, okay, no.
Not
that
Madoka.
twist.
Not the
the Madoka-like character.
yeah, not the Madoka. Oh, fuck.
The magical girl.
Shout
character.
out to what's it called? Madoka Magica. Oh yes, that's a good one too.
I actually haven't seen that. I've heard it's good.
It is good. And then if you rewatch it again, you're just like heartbreak at the first episode, like ugh.
Oh, that's how it is with a lot of animes we watch, though.
What?
I feel like anything you watched once and has like a heartbreaking ending, like a
It sticks with you. Yeah, it just sticks
or,
with you.
Angel Beats.
To you guys,
Angel
oh,
Beats.
fuck.
Oof.
But see, this is what I'm talking about. I really should have written down some stuff.
Yeah, we should have.
But it's alright. But we're just fucking throwing out. It's fine. It's fine. It's what the show's gonna be. Well, we'll figure it out what it's gonna be. But
Eventually.
I feel like we're just gonna talk more about like seasonal stuff coming. But
Like this season, or like last season, number one, in my opinion, was Zombieland Saga. No, I don't know. Bunny Girl Senpai was up there too.
yeah, Bunny. Oh my God, Bunny Girl Senpai was just
What about the time I got
transformative.
reincarnated as a slime?
I am actually not caught up with that,
I'm
and
not
that's
caught
actually in this season too.
It's the 2018-19 winter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Winter and fall.
Fall, winter.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, that was a
was
a good season. Last season was.
Was an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, so next week I do actually want to talk more about seasonal stuff. So hopefully you guys
Wait, is
watch
it next
more
week
seasonal.
or is it the following?
Whatever.
Well,
We'll
I guess we
decide.
could like fall back onto like what we watched last season and then what we're watching this season.
No, he's talking about how frequent we're gonna do the podcast.
I thought it was gonna be every 2 weeks.
Yeah, we might make this a every 2 week bi-weekly podcast, but we'll see. We'll work it out. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
We got to be just a little loose right now with the rules. I'm just gonna say stuff from now on.
It's kind of hot. Say it again.
Oh,
I'm just gonna say stuff from now.
again,
Senpai.
Baka.
We are a little bit weeby. I guess we could talk about that. We do a lot of the cliche anime fans. Jesus.
how was that? Oh God!
But I feel like we're a little bit more grounded than a lot of the hard.
See where it spikes right
I
there.
know, I
too.
saw that.
That's awesome.
I feel like we're a little bit more grounded than a lot of them. Like we do all this shit, but we're also older people. So, well, at least John and I are older.
Yeah,
He's
you haven't been to an anime convention in a while.
I don't
we got to go to
and it's
one
not
just
that
so
I
I can
don't-
remind you.
I don't like going to places where I don't need to be. Now, PlayStation Experience, that's a place where I need to be.
Nah, I don't like cons in general. I don't
Too bad
like
it got
standing in
canceled.
line. I know I like meeting people who else have the same kind of interest as me, but man, there's some fucking hardcore people who take this shit way too seriously.
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Hey, that's the name of the show.
Oh,
I don't think I've said that
I
enough.
was like, I don't think we introduced.
I
the
no, I
title of
did.
the
I did. I said this is the first episode of Senpai Notice My Podcast.
Oh, on where can we find these at?
We don't have a YouTube link yet.
Well,
It's just YouTube.
Well, you can-
YouTube search Senpai Notice My Podcast.
No,
Or
Senpai Notice My YouTube channel.
Okay,
But I think I might make
All
a
right.
SoundCloud for Senpai Notice's SoundCloud.
you probably should. Or
Can we drop
Just-
our fire diss tracks there too someday?
we can, yeah. Just put Senpai Notice My Podcast on the channel. Just name
Okay.
it that channel.
No,
On
because then
SoundCloud?
it restricts us to just doing podcasts. And
On
then-
SoundCloud?
No, on the YouTubes or anywhere really.
All right, fine. Name it Senpai Notice My SoundCloud.
Essentially, we're just Senpai Notice My at this point.
Senpai Notice My Blink. Anyways,
Merch.
so now, shit, I should have said this at the top of the show that we were going to talk about this. But I guess it's going to be the thumbnail and the title. we do want to get into discussion about a recent movie that was just released. And that's going to be our topic of the show. It is a movie called... Are you going to say it? Pregnant Pause?
I'm trying to figure out which movie.
Oh my god, really, Jose?
The movie we just watched, sir.
Sir, we watched the movie last week. We watched the movie today. Come on.
I'm so confused on what
I'm so
talking
confused.
about.
What movie did we watch last week?
The Shape of a Voice.
Not that. We're talking about the recent movie.
The most recent one, so we could be relevant on the YouTubes as everybody else because it just got released in the U.S. I want to eat your pancreas.
Watashi wa tabete something pancreas. I don't know what a pancreas is in Japanese.
Why would you want to eat my pancreas?
God damn it. Is that the whole joke you wanted to make the whole time? Yeah. Anyways.
Bakachin.
So we're going to do a real quick transition. It's going to be seamless for you guys, but for us, it's going to be a little real quick.
It's going to be like 5 minutes for us.
So.
It's going to take 20 hours. And
ready? And. Okay, guys. So, what a transition that was.
Yeah, it was
like nothing
seamless.
happened. I want to talk about a movie that we just watched today. Fresh on our minds. Let's just break down the themes, man. This is a movie. It was promoted as like, go see this. I was seeing the ads on Facebook. Go see this with your lover, blah, blah, blah. But fuck that. I don't think this was as romantic as a movie as I thought it was going to be.
They were banging on Valentine's Day.
Which is not, I know they were, but it was not a bad thing either. It was a movie about appreciating everyday life, Jose. Would you say I'm wrong?
I would say you are correct, sir.
Well, what do you think about that? Like,
I think you're right. Honestly, I'm so fixated on the ending. Just
which we can't talk about. We'll just,
yeah, I know.
Can't talk about just yet.
Yeah, I know. So just I'll let you guys do all the talking right now. I'm trying to still gather thoughts on that movie.
John, what did you think about the movie?
The movie was like really well written. I loved it. Heartbreak at sometimes.
Well, of course there's heartbreak. We knew there was gonna be heartbreak. The movie opens with a heartbreak, which
no, see, the movie starts off. I'm just joking. I'm not gonna go into spoilers yet.
Like, it starts in Neo Tokyo, where our protagonist.
It starts at San Francisco.
Well, people know what the breakdown of the movie is because trailers and stuff like that. It's a guy meets a girl, blah blah blah. Of course, that's what happens in every romantic story. What
is this? The Fault in Our Stars, but Japanese animated?
Oh wow! I didn't even see that movie.
That's actually a really good comparison, or fucking solid comparison right there, actually. But yeah, it is similar like that. Boy meets girl. Girl is sick. Girl is very sick. What?
I'm just like,
I keep thinking about things I could say without jumping into spoilers. I kind of want to jump into spoilers. So we just jump into spoilers.
No. Let's just.
One of the themes is to appreciate life and how you can pretty much see what you're missing if you're pretty much.
We have two different
something.
Well, we can like kind of break down the characters. We have two different characters. One who doesn't see life as he goes through life like he goes no friends, doesn't give a shit. You're a lot of typical anime characters are like this. You know what I mean? I just want to live my life. I don't need anybody's help, but I will protect my family.
Too close to home.
Like he protects his mom. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't want her to know. He doesn't want her to know that he is suffering. So that's like the one like. That's the only thing I took at the beginning of like, oh, I gotta protect my. Well, other than that, fuck the world. Like I can do it all on my own. And then you got this girl who's like, fucking bubbly, living life like nothing's wrong, and it's heartbreaking because you, like I said, you know from the previews that she has a sickness, and that she's going through this thing that nobody else knows.
Oh, and she fucking hides it so well.
But I'm saying she just
like so freaking well. Like. Even her friends don't know. Nobody knows but like her family and the guy.
Yeah.
And just like, why won't you talk about it? Just talk about it. You'll feel fine. But she doesn't want to talk about it because she's on drugs.
Spoiler!
I was actually talking about that song.
Because you're on drugs. Suicidal tendencies. God
Thank you. Yeah. She's on drugs.
Is that what you're referring to, really? Okay.
The whole time.
Wow.
John got
that
it.
whole build-up for a very bad joke.
Worth it.
Was not worth it.
So
it was not worth that build-up.
Did not land.
Give us a like if
Plus,
you
this is an anime podcast.
Give us a laugh if you laughed at that, please. Thanks. Helps my self-esteem.
Your self-esteem is low.
Talk about the movie.
It's a movie, and it made me feel things.
Of course it made you feel things.
It made me feel all the things.
Expound, Jose. Expound.
What do you want me to talk about without going into spoilers, man?
This is hard, actually.
I didn't think it would be this hard because I just want to be like, oh, this is what happened.
Okay, so basically we have two characters. One's sick,
I said that
and then
already.
they meet. They become buddies, and she's like, "Hey, hang out with me." He's like,
No.
"Nah, I don't want to." But
yeah,
he's like,
I'm
she's
good,
like,
fam.
but she's like, "Yo, hang out with me, please."
Kind of like that, I guess.
And he's like, "All right, fuck it.
Oh, fuck it.
right,
I'll see what she has to say.
I'll humor you."
The
And
way-
he humors her,
And
really
he-
well.
And then he keeps humoring her. And then he keeps humoring her.
and then she humors him,
I feel like this is spoiler territory.
It is
already.
kind of spoiler territory.
but they humor each other.
Fuck it. We're
I was
going
like,
like spoilers.
Oh God, we're going into spoilers.
Because we are not succeeding at breaking down.
We
this.
are not.
In my head, I had a plan. It just kind of blanked
And then we
out.
get here, and it's just like,
Well, no, it's because we had to do that transition thing. If we would have just kept talking on the first thing, I would have been fine. But we're going into spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers for, I guess that'll be the title of the spoiler cast for.
The spoiler cast for I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
Yeah. So we start off.
in Japan.
We're really. I wanted to emphasize we are going
Oh.
into spoilers.
So if you have not watched the movie, go watch it.
We start off in Japan. Yes, I'll say.
in a hospital in Japan.
No. At a
not-
We
funeral.
start off at a
Oh,
funeral.
that's right. That's right.
People are
Ooh.
crying. It's raining.
The funeral is for the protagonist of the movie. The one that you saw on the OPs, the one that you saw in the previews,
Sakura.
Sakura. Oh man. And I was like, holy shit, they're starting it off like this. Like they're doing this twist on us already that we know the ending of the movie already. And as we go into the story of it's of course I don't want actually we'll wait for his name at the end
Yeah.
because
So
actually a
the male
spoiler in
protagonist
itself.
of the movie.
Yeah, the gentleman in the
scholar that we know.
the
and love.
scholar, the book reader, the librarian apparently for the school. He's the one narrating the story, and he starts off by like saying, you know, I couldn't be there at the funeral, and I'm just like, oh fuck, we're gonna be in for a ride. Good.
No. Yeah, we're in for a ride, and it's just like, so basically, it starts with the funeral, and then they go into.
It goes back into how they met.
at the hospital where he's just like waiting for some results or something.
He was just there for
some stitches, right?
Yeah, to get some stitches out or something.
And then some kids run, and then books
book
fall.
Well, he sees a book, and he's like, once again, if we didn't stress, he's an avid book reader. So he's like,
The
what
fuck?
is that? Like, I've never seen that book before. You can tell this kid reads a lot of books, so he's like, goes, picks it up, reads what's inside, and it's like,
Well, let's put on emphasis that there's a book cover over this book.
what? Oh yeah, there's something covering the cover of the book. So he peels it off, and
Oh
it
my
says-
God, the symbolism!
what?
That she's hiding her diary.
Well,
Essentially hiding the
she's hiding
disease.
it. Oh my god! No, but he opens it up, and it's like "Living by Dying" is the title of this book, and he opens up to a page
Living
that's
with dying.
Huh?
Living with dying.
Living with dying. Sorry, you're right. What did I say? Living by dying.
Yeah.
Living by
That-
dying. Yeah.
Living with dying, and he opens up to a bookmark page, and he reads the entry, and it says something to the effect of,
I'm dying.
I
I have a disease and I'm dying.
have a disease, yeah, and I'm living a normal life, and I'm gonna she's basically kind of like, I'm suffering alone, but it's okay because I rather suffer alone than make everybody else around me worry. I think that's what it says. Something to that effect, right? Am I wrong? Because I kind of don't.
No,
because it kind of went.
You're not wrong, but it doesn't sound right.
I don't think it is right. But it went by real quickly because it was like, it's obviously the text
It's there
Japanese.
for like
It
10
flashed,
seconds,
and
15 seconds.
it just kind of said that she is with the disease and
Anyway,
she's dying.
And then after
She doesn't
that,
have a lot of time.
yeah, and then they meet, and then
Yeah,
she's like, "Hey, hang out with me." And he's like, "Nah." He's like, "Hang out with me because I told you my secret."
No.
I was like,
you're skipping.
no,
you're skipping a point.
see, you skipped the whole
Yeah.
conversation when they're
The whole
at the
conversation,
hospital.
yeah, but
Where she's
basically
like,
what goes down is they meet, and she's like, "Hey, I'm dying."
and then he's just like, okay.
Okay.
And then she's
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't care. He's like
Whatever.
and they're classmates. I think we forgot to say that they're fucking classmates. They see each other every day, and he finds out that this girl's dying. Nobody else knows she's dying, and he's like, okay, whatever. Because once again, he has apathy towards everything, and so she's just like, what? Aren't you gonna say something? Aren't you going to comfort me? Aren't you going to try to make me feel better? I think that's like literally the quote.
And she's like, no.
He's like, no, why would I? And she's like,
Then she starts laughing.
She's like amused. She's like, because this is obviously the first person who she has told about this other than her family. I guess her family is the main emphasis. Her family just like dote on her and worry about her every day, which of course you would. Dude, somebody you love is dying. Of course you're gonna be like, you feeling okay?
It'll be all right.
It'll
It's
be
okay.
fine. Yeah,
You're
not gonna die. You're gonna live.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly. You're just gonna survive. You're gonna make it through this.
Death.
And she's like, no.
I'm gonna die.
And she emphasizes throughout this whole movie, like even though
when I die, I want you to keep doing this.
Even though it's through humor, she's like, I don't have a lot of time left. Like she tries to play it off for laughs, and it was kind of like making me cringe a little on the inside, which is the point of I think the point of the writer was like to make you feel like every time she says like, ooh, like poke.
Every time.
Like it does, and you're like, she's just making a joke out of it. And we'll get to later on like that. This accumulates into something that she says later on, but yeah. So she basically just like, yeah, I'm gonna die, and so. What happens after that?
So after that, she starts volunteering at the library.
Yeah, where he works, and she like just talking to him because she's like, "Wow, somebody knows my secret. Like that's awesome. Like let's keep hanging out." Oh,
and he's like, "Nah."
Yeah, and she's like, "Yeah." And then she finally pulls out the trump card. Like, well, I'm making a list of stuff that I want to do before I die.
And you know my secret, so like
you gotta like
you gotta know.
Yeah.
And he's like, crap. I felt that on a very spiritual level. He's just like, oh crap, I gotta do shit with her now.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I guess I kind of do. So he has like a little bit of sympathy. Oh, we missed something that she said that made him say that because when they're walking away from each other after he found her book and all that, she was like, just do whatever you want, like, because she's telling her about like, oh, you're the first one to react like that, and it's awesome. And he was like, well, just fucking live however you want. And then she says later on when she's bothering him in the library, like, you're the one who told me to live however I want, and I want you to come with me.
And he's like, I didn't mean it like that, but like, I guess,
like, fuck it. Where do they go on
the next scene? They start walking down the street market.
Yes.
Where no bicycles are allowed. But then there's commotion down the street where an old lady is on the floor with squished grapes and other...
This asshole thug, the anime thug number 36, walks up. Hey, lady, you gotta pay for my fucking
You
clothes.
stained my clothes, so you're gonna pay for them.
Give me some money.
Excuse me, sir, but you're the one at fault. Are you gonna pay for my clothes?
Really
so why are we breaking?
Why are you guys like voice acting really well? What the fuck?
Anyways,
I'm over here like, man, that's exactly what happened though.
Anyways, so he's a little fucking shithead. He's like,
maybe we should go.
Fuck it, let's just go around.
Let's go around. Let's not cause any more trouble.
Yeah, that's gonna bother me. And this girl, this is where you like start to see like her really. What shined for me in this movie was the characters. They were well written. The guy, he's a little cliche, and I guess
she's a teenager. He's like, I remember being like that as a teenager.
He's angsty.
He's angsty as fuck.
Edgy.
It makes him so hot.
Oh, so we're going that route now.
No. So
the character's all right.
So she's not that kind of person. She's like, she's a really nice. She gets along with everybody. She's not like the crazy popular girl that like you see throughout anime, but she is. You can tell she is well liked by her peers, and so she's like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go up there. No, you're the one who did this. You should give her money or something like that." And he's like, "What'd you say to me?" Kicks him directly in the balls.
And then everybody's like, she got both too.
So that's the kind of girl we're dealing with. She's dying.
Stands up for people.
She stands up for people, and she's a strong, independent woman, I guess you could say.
She is. Oh my god.
She is awesome. She just fucking kicks this dude in balls. She's like grabs him by the hand, and you get that first scene. You know what I mean? The scene where they focus on the hand of them running, and you're just like, oh, this.
It's gonna break my heart.
Once again, we started off with this girl dying. Anyways. So they're running, and then they end up at some cafe.
Yeah, they will go to the cafe
and get
next.
some snacks.
Hey, your thing's dead.
And he's dead.
Fuck. Oh, well, this podcast is going to continue as audio only, so.
Sweet.
Anyways, so they end up in the cafe?
Yeah, they end up in a cafe, and they start eating shit.
They order the drinks. No, they order drinks the first time at the cafe.
It doesn't matter what they order.
Either way, they're at a cafe and they start talking about
life, basically. And he's like, and then this is where she brings up. See, I'm confusing things. This is where she brings up she's like, I want to just live every day like a normal person, and he was like, well, just do that. And he's like, well, don't you want shit like you want to get done before you die? Mm-hmm. And she's like, but I want to live normally. And she's like, don't you want to get shit done before you die? And he's like, yeah, well, it's the same thing. You could croak dead tomorrow. And that's why I was like, man, this movie's about just like fucking appreciating the day in front of you, because she doesn't see it as like, I have a disease, I can die at any time. She's like, well, I'm gonna live my life and I'm gonna go when I go. Like, and
she'll go on her own terms.
It's gonna fucking happen, but until it happens, I'm just gonna live my life. Like, I don't need anything special. And then she contradicts herself right after that. Like, but there's shit I want to do, and he's like, well, even the character's like,
just do it.
No, even he's like, isn't that just contradictory what you said? Like, that's a line in the movie. So they basically start getting closer. And our hearts start to get warmer and warmer and warmer.
God, anime, why do you do this to us?
Then the next day at school, everyone starts talking and gossiping about him.
Yeah, because it's spread around that, like, because they were being seen by everybody when the whole commotion with the the asshole thug, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, why are you hanging out with this guy? Like,
why don't you go out with the other guy? He's like super popular, and he's just like,
yeah, all her friends are like
broody.
thinking it's a love thing, and kind of is.
It is, but it's
we'll get to that.
Yeah,
later,
but he's just like, no, we just got along.
Yeah,
whatever,
fucking whatever. And he's just like some guy with the gum. Hey man, you want some gum? He's like, no man, fucking gum. What the fuck you come from?
He's like, what are you doing with Asagura, bro?
Yeah, and he's trying to get information out of her, and
him,
yeah, and he's like, well, no man,
she
bothers me, kind of.
She bothers me, and I want to go home.
Yeah,
and read.
Well, that's all I want to do is go home and read. So they go, and she's like, let's go on a fucking trip.
No,
we're not going to break down the whole movie, guys.
No, you forgot about the cafe, because I think the cafe part, or not the cafe, the paradise part, plays a big part.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Because that's when we like really get introduced to her best friend, Koga.
Koga. Was it Koga?
Kyoko.
Yeah.
And she's like, why are you hanging out with him? Don't hang out with him. Hang out with me.
Which, man, I felt bad for her. Cause she's like,
you do feel bad for her because she's like, that's my best friend. Why are you taking my best friend?
Well, I think she's just confused. I think she senses a change in Sakura. Like, you just broke up with your boyfriend. Which, yeah, she talks to the guy a little bit about that in the same scene, actually. Where she's like, yeah, I broke up with my last boyfriend because he was too...
He didn't know how to learn how to say no.
Yeah, he couldn't say no, and he was too persistent. And
he wouldn't take no for an answer, and he was really persistent.
Yeah.
There you go.
And so she's like, I just broke up with him. And she's like, kind of, would you like to be my boyfriend? But not really, because it's too early for that. It's only Act 1.
And she's like, nah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll just go read over here.
And so then her friends come in, and she's like, what are you doing with this guy? Which I thought was a fucking weird reaction. Like,
and she like starts like nagging at him too, and he's just like eating his cake, like, huh?
He doesn't even respond, dude. He's just like,
no, he looks at her and he's like, yeah, not worth it.
Yeah, just whatever. Just eat my cake. Yeah. And she's like, whatever, we'll talk about this later. And then they decide to go on the trip, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they go to the beach.
No, they go to the beach.
They walk a little bit.
They go to the beach, and you're
that's like the first time like he really starts understanding, and he's really like, because he's like really just, this girl is just walking in the beach, and it's a beautiful scene, and she's like enjoying life, and like how we were at the beach, we're just like, fuck, this is awesome, just walking the beach. It's like a very nice moment, but it's also somber because like the sun's going down, and he's like, are you really dying? Like, you're sure you're not fucking with me? Like,
oh, she likes to joke around too.
She does like to joke around, but it's just because he's like, it's dawned on him that this fucking awesome girl that just kicked some dude in the balls yesterday, standing up for all these people, is so fucking bubbly and smiley.
You're just gonna fucking.
It's
die.
like, this can't be like. I think that's when it was like, for him as a character, was like, nah, this there's no way.
You're not real.
You're not dying.
You're not dying.
And he's like, he asked her like, are you dying?
And he's like, of course.
And she's like, of course I am.
So are you?
Huh?
Oh wait, no, that's later.
Yeah, he's like,
But that's later. Like she says that later on. In the movie.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
But
But
he's like, she's like,
really
yeah,
done?"
I'm gonna die. Like,
All joking aside, I am very ill.
yeah.
I am very ill, and I do need medicine a lot, sir.
And so they sit on the bench, and I forgot what they talk about on the bench, but it's kind of like a.
And
Oh, she invites him out, and then it turns into like a little trip.
Yeah, that's where she's like, I remember that list that I have, like, I still want to do that. And this is where they first really connect on, when they're like that day. I think when he asked her that's their first time really like, he's like, man, I kind of understand this girl, and I kind of want to, like he's like, becomes interested. He's like, I want to understand how she can do that. Like, how she can stay so positive. And I think that's what drives him. Because I think, obviously, it was a show, it was a movie, so they written it the way, but for me, I like to see these things like, if she didn't like really fucking stand up, she would have probably started crying like, I'm gonna fucking die. He would have been like, nah, bitch, I'm out. Like,
No, he would have been like, fuck, now she's crying. Now I have to go.
no, I
I feel like he would. I think
he wouldn't have been interested in her because what made him so interested in her was like
her positivity.
yeah, how she was so fucking strong and I'm cursing a lot. I need to stop.
We all are.
How she's so strong.
Thanks to monetization.
And so I think
Nope, there's a rule against that now, where it can't be in the title and the first 30 seconds.
Oh heck yeah!
so,
I was censored.
so they go on this trip, right? And that's when she first asked him, like, "What's your name?"
And he's like,
"We can't hear it." Like
it's like that. It's like that Fairly Odd Parents episode. My name's
with Dad, yeah, and Mom.
But people just call me Dad.
But it wasn't even that at first. It was like, is this how you spell your last name?
But yeah, because she's like, and he's like, "Don't write my name down. I don't like. You already caused me this trouble of like people are talking about us right now." He's like, "No, don't write my name down."
Yeah,
and she does it. Well,
she does, but then she like scratches it out basically.
And then she asks him his first name, and it was like, no, is around, and you're like,
my name's blank.
I was like, that was weird. Like, I guess they don't want us to know the names, but it came into play later, obviously. And so they go on this trip. We get a montage scene of, we're going to do all this fun stuff. We're buying him clothes. She's picking out clothes for him. He wants to go to a bookstore, and she's yanking him away. And then we get to the hotel room, and she's like, whoa, what's going on? Yeah. And you're like, I was like, I know where this is going.
We all know where this is going. But just because we like our smut doesn't mean all the movies have the smut.
No, this movie surprisingly had no smut. Almost no smut. There was that.
We'll talk about that later. But anyway, so they go into the hotel room, and she's like, all right, well, I'm going to go shower. Deuces.
Yeah.
And she goes shower, and then she's like, hey, can you get my shampoo?
No, let me explain the whole... It was, of course.
Oh, yeah, what was the...
Every anime that ever has an overnight trip between a guy and a girl. Like Bunny Girl Senpai did, too, actually. One bed. Well. Of course, one bed. But it's like a nice room, because they get upgraded, because they
messed up.
And they now had to sleep in the same one room together. Which is, oh my god, I can't sleep in the same room as a girl.
You idiot, I'll just sleep on the couch.
Yeah. But they have like this beautiful like lovers paradise kind of like room that I would like love to go with the girl with to a hotel. Anyway,
Miguel's fantasy confirmed.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we know one of them.
So she goes to she takes a bath and she's like, can you reach into my bag and get me, what was it, like
her shampoo or something?
And he looks in their bag and then he sees her medical shit, like.
But they don't show it till like after. But she's like, yeah, can you get me my stuff? He's like, and we're like, she brought condoms.
Yeah, at first I was like, what did she bring? Is it like condoms? Is it like did she plan all this? But then later on we see like it flashes back and it's in fact all her medical shit.
All her syringes,
all the
pills,
shit she needs just
insulin.
to live a normal life. And it's just like, oh fuck. She's like going through some shit.
And can we just talk about how in America that would be like an arm and a leg?
Yeah. No, we don't need to talk about that. We're not going to break down the political
just, like,
system of our
shit.
Yeah, but she's like, so she's carrying around a bunch of stuff, and that's when he really realizes, yeah, oh shit,
she's gonna die.
Yeah, and so they start playing truth or dare. Like they start drinking. This girl brings alcohol on the trip, and
she's like, don't be such an uptight Mr. Goody Two Shoes.
Right, that's what
Live
they
a
were.
little.
That's what they were doing, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't want to make sure I didn't misread that. That was alcohol, right?
Yeah.
That they were doing.
that was definitely alcohol.
Because he like tasted and he was like,
Yep, that's what you think it is.
it was like, yeah.
It's piss.
Well,
It's really piss.
Some people
Missile
think
thing.
beer tastes like piss, so it's fine. Might be.
it looked like spirits though. Like
Well,
it could have
it
been
could've
sake
been
or
sa-
something.
I thought it was beer, the first one at least, and then they also had a bunch of other drinks, and
Yeah.
some were clearly like look like alcohol. So they're drinking, like they're these
They're having a good
minors
time, and they're
in
playing Truth
another
or Dare.
town, yeah, just hanging out, drinking, playing Truth or Dare, which is a weird version of it. I like that version of it. We need to try that.
Oh, we definitely.
It's
should.
like it's a big game of essentially like war.
King's Cup.
Highest one gets to declare.
But they
the
set it up
opponent.
like King's Cup,
Mhm.
where you got to like pick
Yeah.
them around. Anyway, so they're playing Truth or Dare, and he just starts breaking down questions for her.
And she's like, "Don't ask me any perverted stuff, because I won't answer."
No,
Wink
don't
face,
don't
winky
make
face,
me. Yeah,
winky
and
face,
she's like,
winky
yeah,
face.
don't ask me to kiss you or anything.
Hunt.
Yeah,
Wink, wink.
and
Hubba,
he's just,
hubba,
but of course he's the fucking protagonist the way he is. What's your thoughts about life and what's your
What were you like as a kid?
Yeah, what were you
What
like
was your life as a kid? Other junk. Other-
He was just asking like very
How do you-
basic
how do you even say
questions.
so
No, he was
positive?
trying to get to know her.
Yeah,
really
like yeah,
trying to
he
get
was
to know-
actually which not the point of the game. But I think he of course completely missed the point of the game, which is his character, of course. You distracted me. You made me lose my train of thought.
But he's trying to get to know her, and she's like, "Why don't you do this?"
Yeah, and so the first question she asked her, because they got to set it up like, "Oh, who do you think's the cutest girl in class?"
Like,
The one that's good at math. And she's
she
like,
does
"Of
math
course."
really well.
Of course, you would like a girl like that.
What are the
like,
top 10 things you see cute in me?
I thought she was gonna be like a little. Yeah, I thought she was gonna be like a little jealous. You know?
Yeah,
But
she
she
kind of
wasn't.
was.
She was a little
Kinda
bit.
was, but she doesn't show
Of course,
it.
but that's
And it's
the
all
whole-
front. It's all her front.
The core of her character is, I'm good at hiding shit.
Yeah,
And so even if she was like a little, she was clearly obviously wanted to be with him, or
she wanted to spend a lot of
Interesting, yeah.
time with him. Yeah,
and so they get down to the final question, and she's like, "I'm gonna ask you."
What do you find cute in me?
No,
No, it wasn't.
First,
No, he's
she
like-
dares him to carry her to the bed.
no.
No,
She's like, where would you rank me in like the cutest in the class? And he's like,
3.
3, I guess.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, number 3.
No.
And she's
So
like,
you've been looking
and
at me
he's
this
like-
whole time.
and he's like, she's like, I didn't expect a serious answer from you, winky face. And you're like, damn.
This girl's forward, and he's just an idiot, like every male protagonist in every anime. I kind of hate that cliche. As much as I really love romance, the problem with romance is mainly all the guys are fucking idiots.
But to be fair, we're all idiots in
No,
real life
but-
too.
Not that much idiots.
You'd be surprised how dumb we can be.
I don't know.
I've been pretty dumb in my life.
I think it's over gratuitous. I think it's like gamers, like he's
Oh my
he's
God.
fucking pathetic.
Oh, that dude's a lost cause for sure. That dude was a lost cause.
So I really
Anyway.
don't like the lack of confidence in a lot of the guys in
Mhm.
romance as much as I love romance as a genre. But anyways, so she does that, and then she dares him to
No, she asked him
carry
a
me to
question.
bed.
She's like,
A question he can't answer. Like
he doesn't want to answer. So he's like, just carry me to bed. And he's just like,
it's like I'm gonna give you my dare, or I'm gonna give you my
question.
and you got to pick between the two. And one of them is, hey, you either I dare you to carry me to bed,
Mhm.
or what was the question? Would you date me, or was no?
No, it's something really dark.
Well,
Hey, but
no.
it was
The
pretty
dark
dark.
question comes next. The dark question comes. It's the last. This is like the 9th one. This is
Oh,
question 9,
8 or
whatever.
9. Yeah,
9.
you're right. You're right.
And
You're right.
He doesn't want to answer, so he carries her to bed.
Mhm.
But I can't remember what the question was.
Either way, carries her to. Yeah, so he's like,
Nah, fuck it. I don't want to answer that question.
He's like, yeah, I'm not gonna answer that. Let's carry her to bed.
Yeah, so he just grabs her like nothing, like well, whatever, it's not a fucking big deal.
Mhm.
But she's like, oh,
He's really strong.
Yeah.
Woo-woo.
and so he drops her off in bed, and then he's like, well, let's just finish this last round. I'm gonna get you some water because you've been drinking way too much, and blah blah blah. Does that? He thinks she falls asleep. Like she doesn't say anything.
Mhm.
He's like, truth or dare, you won that one. She falls asleep, or he thinks she does. Walks down the hall, like turns off the light, getting ready for bed, and then she finally speaks up, and she's like, "Truth." And he's like, No, what he asked her truth or dare, and she says truth, and she's like, "What would you do if I told you I'm really afraid of dying?"
Oh, we're just like, oh snaps! It is
Like
real.
she shows for the first time, really in this movie, she showed.
And she's afraid to die.
Yeah, she showed that it's really fucking weighing on her. Of course, it would weigh on anybody.
Yeah.
Ugh.
John, any thoughts here? You look like you've been wanting to say something for a bit.
Oh no, I was just like looking at Kimber.
But yeah, so that happened, and all of our minds just connectively just go sad. I don't know what you guys were
And then
thinking. I was
she's
just like, fuck.
Movie
Dare.
made me sad.
I dare you to sleep with me tonight.
Yeah, he's like, I
damn.
don't, because he didn't want to answer the question.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what his answer would have been.
Her answer would have been.
No,
Oh no, his
it was his answer, yeah, because she asked him the question, right?
Yeah.
And
He's
he
like,
was,
what would you do if I was dying tonight?
no,
Monkey
if I
face.
was. And so, yeah, so he makes her sleep in the bed. And I don't, like,
makes him sleep with her.
sorry, whatever.
He sleeps with her in the bed, but they're like back to back.
I just think I don't think that scene had anything to do with, like, up until that point, she was like, she clearly wanted him to be in the bed with her, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
But at the point, I don't think it was because, at the point that she finally did get him in bed, it was, I think she didn't want to sleep alone that night. Like, and not in a romantic way. It was
Like,
because
she finds comfort in
she
him.
was scared.
Yeah, she finds comfort
Yeah.
in him.
That's kind of the whole theme, like, of their relationship, that he comforts her because he doesn't judge her too hard for the circumstances she's going through, and he doesn't treat her any different. He treats her like a fucking normal human being,
Mhm.
which is why she doesn't tell her best friend, because her best friend would just
Would've quit her-
overreact.
She would have quit like everything.
School,
was
like
doing.
she says at the end of the movie, like,
I would have
why did
stopped
she
my whole life
Yeah.
just so I could be with her.
and
more.
that's not what because
She didn't.
That's not what you want.
it's not.
She didn't want
And
anybody
I
to
don't
change their
want that.
perspective of her just to accommodate her with her dying.
Mhm.
She didn't want any of that. She wanted everyone to have. She wanted to have a normal life as much as possible
And so
without telling anyone.
after this scene, it's like his defenses, I feel like, go all the way down.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, time to be more
Like-
honest with her.
Yeah, because he starts really like liking her. Well,
And
not
then-
that he didn't like her before, but he was just interested before. But now he's like, yeah, I
with that
see
baby
what
and
this
that.
girl's all about, and like I dig it, and like the train scene,
Oh, and
like because he's normally like all down about everything, and she's like, man, I had a great time this weekend, and he was like, yeah, you know what, so did I, and she's like, what did you just say? He's like, I had a good time.
And then
She was like,
we should do it again
you're not
sometime.
normal. Yeah, and she's, let's do it again sometime. How
Let's
about
do it
next
during winter break.
How about next winter? Or yeah, winter break. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. Puts on his hat, walks
she
off
got
the
him.
train like a badass.
He's like, Nani?
And she's like, who the fuck are you? Yeah. And so I don't remember really much of that happens like in between the big stuff.
I think
They just start becoming real closer.
Mhm.
People start talking about them more again.
Mhm.
And we find out that the dude that was dating her was Bubblegum Guy because he keeps once again.
Not
No,
Bubblegum Guy.
it wasn't
It's the popular
Bubblegum Guy.
guy in class.
Because remember, that's when.
Was it the popular guy?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the
because
popular
remember,
guy.
because she has him go over to
I
her
thought it
house
was
after.
Bubblegum.
Yeah, because he's
guy.
like, hey, what's your favorite book? But
Like,
you've
come,
never read this
come borrow
one.
my favorite, or like, come. I'm gonna let you borrow my favorite book that I love, which is The Little
The
Prince.
Little Prince, right?
So he goes over, and they're playing video games on the PS3.
No. It was on a console, John.
It was
They don't have names.
Oh
Game
wait, I'm
Station
sorry.
3.
It was a GC3.
Yeah. The GameCube 3?
No.
Released by
Oh.
Xbox Nintendo?
X-Claim.
Anyways, so
Nintendo.
Pretend.
they go.
Anyways.
Yeah, go ahead, John. Take over.
Anyway, so they're playing games, having fun, and then they're like, okay, let me have the book. But then he's going to go get the book because all they're doing is just playing games. He's kind of getting tired of it.
I thought she was teasing him a bit too.
No, she is teasing him. She is.
Like egging him on.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, well, what would you do? Like, do you like me?
Yeah.
And
He's
he's
like, just kidding. You
Would you
wouldn't
ever
like
see me-
anyways.
Do you have a girlfriend or see me being your girlfriend?
And he's like, what?
No.
Like, why are you
It's like,
asking all these
no, like-
questions? We're playing video games here, man.
And then she's
She's like, okay, good.
And then she he's like, fuck this. Like, I'm annoyed.
I was like, where's your book at? I'm going to take your book. So looks on the bookshelf, and then she comes up behind him and just like,
so,
hug.
and you're like, I thought she was like, I didn't mean. What I thought was gonna happen is she's gonna be like, I didn't mean it. Like, I really do like you, but no, that's not where she went. She has to fucking make a joke
And she's
when
like,
he's already angry. Like,
yeah. And
Fuck.
she's like, I want to do naughty things with someone who's not my boyfriend.
That's my goal.
That's something that's been on my list.
And so she like grabs him.
Like he turns
She's
around and
"This
then
is a
like
hug.
continues.
This is okay. And next part's the naughty part. And he's like about to give in, and then she's like,
I'm only joking.
Just fucking with you, and he gets real.
He's like, man, what the fuck?
Because obviously he likes her now. They both like each other now, and they're just at this point too afraid to admit it. I guess I don't know. Maybe she's not. I think as much as he is, and that was her trying to see maybe if he'd make a move, but she was leaning in, but he wasn't. But he was getting ready anyways. But I think if he had leaned in, it would have been fine. But because he didn't lean in, she was like, no, never mind. Abort! It's a joke. I'm fucking
JK,
around.
JK,
JK, bro.
unsend,
JK.
unsend,
JK,
unsend.
LMAO.
Yeah, so that happens, and
It's a prank, bro. It's a prank.
So
then,
she's like, "Oh, whatever, I got you, ha ha."
and he got really upsetty, and he like pretty much like
He
like
jumped
start-
on her.
pretty
No,
much
like pretty
tackles
much like
her into
tackles to the bed.
and like
then
holds
holds
her
her down.
arms down. She's like, "You can stop now."
You're kind of hurting
I
me.
kind of didn't understand that scene.
It's implied that he was gonna try and bounce chicka wow wow.
Well, I figured, but
She's like,
I
"Please
didn't.
stop."
Kind of didn't get it.
He's
He
sexually
wasn't
frustrated.
taking no for an answer. And
Well, and
her
that probably
ex-boyfriend-
reminded,
yeah.
of him.
Stop, and then she starts crying, which makes him like realize.
He's like, "Oh shit, yeah."
I gotta go. Like now.
that wouldn't stand in America.
Let's not talk about it in America right now. Like you said.
This is
So he
Go
after
for
that,
it.
like that scene, it was pretty awkward. But I get probably the point.
Yeah,
of
and
the
he's
scene, I
like
guess.
walking. He's like walking home.
He's like, "Fuck
like
what
a
did I
walk of
just
shame
do?"
home,
Yeah.
kind of.
And then like Mr. Popular is like, "Hey,
Was it Mr. Popular?
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
Mr.
Mr.
Popular.
Popular because it's like, hey, look at isn't because remember in the beginning when he first entered, it was like, hey, Sakura, this is I was like I just
This is
bought
your
this.
favorite
This is your
CD,
favorite
blah,
CD.
blah,
Man,
yeah.
it's like, oh my god, this one's like super rare. It's limited print.
And once again, I guess so. Did her friends not know that she dated that guy then?
No,
she
they
knows.
did. Sakura,
They know.
No, because they were trying to hook her up. They're like, "Why don't you date somebody
Oh.
like him?"
Oh yeah.
That's why I thought it was Bubblegum Guy.
No.
No.
It was Mr. Popular.
It was Mr.
So
Popular.
she
'Cause
must
remember-
have hid from her friends that she dated.
No,
him.
because what's her name knew about him.
Kyoko.
Kyoko knew about him.
But doesn't everybody else not know about him then?
I don't think so.
Because they clearly in the beginning of the movie were like, "You should date him. He's fucking awesome." Blah 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 blah. That's why I didn't think it was him that they were dating.
No, it was him. And then basically Mr. Popular showed up. He's like, "The fuck you doing at Sakura's house, bro? You trying to get some good times? Are you guys dating? What the fuck, bro?
What the fuck? Blah blah blah.
You should
And
stay
he's
away
like,
from her."
"No, bro, it's not like that. I don't give a fuck."
Nah. We're just hanging out, bro.
And then tries to walk away.
And then
I'm not done with you.
And then he's like fucking clocks him. We're like, damn.
Like, you're fucking
I was like,
trash.
no.
You're just stalking her. You're not.
But now I see why you can't take no for an answer.
Yeah. Oh, that's what he says, right?
Yeah. Ooh.
And so then he gets fucking punched.
And then
He
that's
starts
when
bleeding. I was like, "Oh, he's bleeding."
and then Sakura turns the corner and she's like, What are you guys doing?
And then she.
And then Mr. Popular is like, "Oh, he was just bothering you, so I told him to stay away." Basically.
I took care of him for you, babe. Fucking, you owe me some fucking
Booty.
Yeah. And he's like,
Some
"Oh."
pancreas. Oh, some pancreas, baby.
And so,
She pretty much she womans up.
yeah. Well, no. If she sees him, the protagonist
And she's like-
bleeding, and she's like,
Are you okay?
like she immediately, like I saw like the in her
the
eyes.
worry.
Oh, mother fricker.
Not it wasn't.
it was more worry.
It was
and
worry,
panic.
like the anger. Like she was like, like if you saw somebody you love on the floor bleeding, you're gonna be like, "Wow, are you okay?" Like,
Yeah.
and then she gets angry, and then she's like turns around, like,
Leave.
"Get the fuck out of here!"
Like, go away. And I was like, we're done here. Sayonara.
Like she's when she said sayonara, I was like, "Oh, that's serious," because I don't think sayonara is like, that's not the normal
it's
goodbye.
it's either jane or matane. So sayonara means like we're done.
Like, get out of here, goodbye,
Goodbye.
forever. And so they kind of make up like without even talking.
Here,
like,
come to my house. I'll give you a change of clothes.
And he's just like, so you forget. Well, he has a whole monologue about how you shouldn't be hanging out with a loser like me. And she's like, no, like,
I chose to hang out with you.
All the choices I've made in my life have
yeah,
led up
because
to
he's
you.
like, it was just fucking a freak accident that I picked up your book and
It was just a coincidence.
It was this coincidence. It was a chance. It was not meant to be. And she's like, no, like
We chose to go to the hospital.
we
that
did
day.
all these things. And later we find out what she really meant. Like she really
She really put some thought into that.
just meeting him.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus fuck. So like they make up, and it's like a smiley. It's like a real quick. Here, I'm gonna lend you some clothes, and then you're gonna go. But that like said so much. Like that means they weren't fighting anymore because she was like, come back to my house, get a change of clothes, and then
and then he actually borrows the book this time.
yeah, he does. He takes the prince this time,
The Little Prince.
and then
she
gets into the hospital.
She gets sent to the hospital and gets a text where I'm in the hospital.
Yeah, and he's like,
Then
then he starts worrying like she's gonna die.
He's like, I'm gonna confess.
And
I'm gonna
he's-
confess.
he goes
I'm gonna
to-
confess.
He goes like he's worried about her, so he goes to the hospital. He's like and he opens the door and she's dancing.
And she's like,
He's like, why the fuck did I worry about her again? I should have known she'd be fine. She's this strong fucking woman, but
who don't need no man.
yeah. So she's dancing and she's like, it's embarrassed and so she's in the hospital for a few more weeks.
No, you forgot the
Well-
truth or dare. They played truth or dare again the first time.
And what happens again?
He's like, what is life to you?
Oh yeah, and she's like, well, life is how you when you're with other people.
I was like, life is like the people who help you cherish memories.
Yeah.
The people you want to be around with.
The people who, and so
The people
that's
you
when he's
bond over.
like, okay, I need to work on who I am now. Like, and he starts to admit, like, hey, you've changed me. Like, before I hated, like, he didn't say I hated the world, but he clearly did hate the world. And,
No, he didn't care for the world.
well, yeah. And so now he's like, man, like, being with you has made me, like, see the joys in life that I don't need to just stick around in my books and, like, what do you say? Fiction is more exciting than the real
Reality.
world. Yeah. So,
And then that's when Kyoko walks in.
she,
What are you guys
well,
doing?
she hears part of their conversation.
Yeah, she's like eavesdropping in because she also went to the hospital.
Yeah, she hears like her explanation of what she thinks life is,
Mhm.
what Sakura thinks life is, and then Kyoko busts in and then breaks their happy moment up because they're hugging. They're like, he thanks her for changing him, and they start hugging, and then she breaks in. She's like, "What are you guys doing? Why are you guys hugging?" And she's like,
Kyoko, I missed you so much.
"Yeah." So she basically like bear hugs her, or Sakura bear hugs Kyoko, so protagonist A can get out.
Mhm.
And so he gets another text later on, like, hey,
I'm in here for 2 more weeks.
yeah, and then he really starts to worry again. And then he goes visit her, and they sneak out because she had mentioned that she wanted to go see a firework festival.
Mm-hmm.
And so they can see the firework festival from there. And what else happens there? That's like the big like love confession.
Yeah, it's like the big love confession.
Where he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm gonna stick with you forever, like until you're gone. And she
I
says,
was like, I'll make a promise that you tell me before you die.
yeah, because she didn't realize how worried he was about her.
Yeah.
Like he fucking cared, and even she didn't realize how much he cared. And so they really were like, yeah, they realized they didn't say they love each other. They didn't need to. You know what I mean? I'm glad they went that route where they didn't confess to each other. Because the whole time I was like, confess, you fucking coward. Confess.
just
Because
tell
he
her the
went
moon. Just
he
tell her the
went
moon.
in
It's
like
fine.
knowing, because he had heard that she's gonna stay 2 weeks. She's like, I'm gonna confess, I'm gonna do it today, I'm gonna do it, and then he cowers out. But he didn't need to because basically their words were, "Hey man, I love you.
I care for you.
I care for you. I don't want you to die. Like I don't die." And she's like, "No, I won't die without I'll let you know if I'm going to die." So she's fine.
And they embrace in a hug.
Anyway, you guys are gonna hear a really weird cut, but basically, later on that night after the hug, she's talking to her mom. She's like, "Hey, mom, I need you to do me a favor. I'm not dying. Just a heads up.
She's like, "I'm
But
not dying for a really long time."
But like, I need you to do this for me. It's gonna be
If I can.
very important
If I do die.
in the event of." And we're like, that's funny. Why is she doing that?
Yeah, we're like, all of us are like, "Oh well."
What's
This
the favor?
is
Why is this
that part of the
happening?
movie.
But it's just that you didn't actually you mentioning the part of her saying like, "Hey, I'm not gonna die soon." I didn't stick into my head till you said that now, and I was like, "Oh, so she wasn't dying."
Yeah.
And so she and we don't see what happens. We don't see what she tells her mom to do. She just says, "Hey, do this for me." And so we cut to 2 weeks later, or like
Yeah,
a
2
week
weeks
later,
later.
when she's like, "I'm getting out of the hospital.
Let's go meet for lunch.
Yeah, you're taking me out for lunch."
He's like, all right.
He sends her a text.
Then his mom's just like, when are you going to bring your girlfriend home?
He's like,
There isn't a girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's never coming over.
He's like,
And the mom's like, Yeah, you don't think I didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
Little sly guy.
Well, she's like, I know you didn't have any friends. She's like, you had somebody to care about. You clearly have changed. Like, you have somebody you care about now, but I'm happy for you, son, basically.
And we're just like, anime mom.
Oh, you know what? We didn't even start this whole spoiler cast with, like, what the fucking last text message he said to her was, which was...
Oh, yeah.
Because at the beginning of the movie, you see the text message. It's like, hey, I want to eat your pancreas.
This is the last thing I sent to her.
Yeah.
I want to eat your pancreas.
And we were like, what the fuck does that mean? They explained it in the first, like...
The-
In this Western religion...
No, she said in some parts of the world,
Yeah.
people would eat stomach to get rid of stomach pains, and people would eat kidneys to help with kidneys.
But also they would eat something of their lover that they love, so they stay in their soul forever. And whatever. So...
Yeah.
So... Fuck, we get to the scene.
So then
he's walking to
No,
the
no,
place
he
where they're
goes to
going to go to
the cafe.
lunch.
Yeah.
No, but then he meets with the guy with, hey, you want a piece of gum?
So, see, that's why I didn't get that scene.
No, because
Oh,
it just shows
it's
that
him-
how much
His,
is like
his
his growth.
progress, right?
It's
Yeah.
like his growth, essentially. And then it shows that, the reason why he's the guy always offering gum is because he has the siblings that
Yeah.
he also cares for.
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, he cares for things. All right, he might not be that bad after all.
Maybe I could be these... So he's like, yeah, you know what? I'll take a gum.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so he goes to the place where they basically had their first date, the cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sends us like,
just
I'm
said-
sorry, I'm late. I just got home. I'm leaving right now.
Yeah, she's like, I'm late to meet at our date, but I'll be there. And the last thing he says to her is like,
I was like, I want to take your leaf out of your book.
I want to take a leaf.
And then deletes it, and then it's like, I want to eat your pancreas.
And we're like,
oh, and we knew at that moment, like, but
in
it was
that moment, we all knew.
but
he
it was
fucked
weird
up.
because we were all like, is she gonna die on the way over there of her disease? Or like, that's weird, like a weird, because we know she dies because at the beginning of the movie, that was the last text he sent.
And then, so he's at the cafe pretty much until it closes, waiting for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're like, oh,
Did
fuck,
she
we
send
know
him
what
up?
happened.
And now you're like,
No, we
she
knew
send
what
him?
happened because of the beginning of the movie, but
Yeah.
we're like, but how?
And then,
Why?
and then we cut to him like leaving the cafe. He goes home and then eats dinner.
He's like
while
wondering
his
like what the fuck
parents
he
are
keep-
watching TV.
And we, you know what? It was like we didn't mention this because in the whole movie it just like was kind of in the background the whole time, like just over on the TVs. Whenever a TV was on, it was normally about a news story about somebody getting stabbed. And they kind of make a reference to like, man, this neighborhood's not as safe as it used to be. Yeah, like somebody got stabbed in the prefecture, one prefecture over. And so we fucking get the news like, hey, this high school student was stabbed.
And then it
Her
shows
name was
Sakura.
Sakura Hajiwara.
Yeah, and
then he flips
he
out.
realized that he sees that and he's like,
I gotta go.
he slams the table.
And he's like getting up, and the mom's like,
What's wrong? Yeah,
honey?"
what's
And
wrong?
he's
Like he like wants to throw up, and he's walking upstairs, and he collapses on the stairs. He's hysterical. Like he's hysterically crying.
yeah.
Not the plot twist we were expecting.
Yeah, we were like, we knew she was gonna die, obviously because of the first scene, but
We
She didn't- and
we didn't think she was gonna die
it
like
fits
that.
the theme of don't take life for granted. Like she said it to him. She's like, how do I know you're not gonna pop dead tomorrow?
Mhm.
And she didn't die because of her disease. She died because
Someone stabbed
it's
her.
just by chance.
Coincidence.
Chance.
Coincidence.
So
So then we
10
go
days,
back.
yeah,
we
'cause
come
he-
back into the beginning of the movie with the funeral.
well,
Mhm.
Now we actually know.
10 days after the funeral.
No, it's the funeral because they
Oh,
actually
yeah,
go
yeah.
back into the beginning.
You're right.
of it.
They did.
And then it actually shows him just in his depressed mood for the 10 days.
He didn't He did not attend the funeral.
He didn't attend the funeral. He didn't go to school. He just read. And did that boy read.
Well, he read because he said, "I don't read. I read all my books." He has like some OCD about how he reads his books.
Mhm.
And
Like
then-
I have to read them all in the order of my shelf.
But
So the prince is like the last one, and so he finally gets to the prince, the little prince, and he reads it, and it gives him a little bit of comfort. And so after he reads the little prince, he's like, "Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to face the reality of what has happened." So he goes, prays at the shrine at their
her
house.
the family house.
Yeah, where her mom's sitting there, and he's like, "I got something." He's like, "I got something to tell you. Like, I knew about the disease."
And she's like, oh?
She's like, "Really? You knew about the disease?" And he's like, "Yeah, I know she has her book. Can I read it? The dying while living,
Living is done.
living while dying."
Living with dying.
Is it living with dying or
Living with Dying.
Oh, God damn it! Okay.
It just might be the fan translation, but it might
I
not be
don't
the
know.
actual title.
Either way.
That's what it was at the book too, though.
Oh, was it?
So it's So he was like, and the mom breaks down.
She's like, my daughter left something for you.
Like
oh, finally, you're
she
the
knew
one.
you'd come. Like, yeah, that's what the whole like, hey mom, do this for me if I do pass. Once again, not expecting these circumstances passing, but so he reads the book and he just reads all the shit that she had wrote about him, like the kind of a behind the scenes of what had happened, like after the night where they had to fight over like the joke that she made and he had to fight with the guy. She cried that whole night, like because she was happy but sad at the same time because they had gotten into a fight but then they had fixed it and then they really shared kind of their kind of feelings for each other that night.
And then she also opened up about like what she really wanted to ask him in the hotel room.
Yeah.
And then like the hospital where she gets the news that her time, or pretty much her time.
My time got cut in half. That's all it says on that page is my time got cut in half today.
Which we still don't know how much time she had.
We don't, but it obviously would have been longer than. I think she had. I think it kind of like she would have made it to adulthood, but not like late adulthood. She would have probably made it to like 30 or something. My assumptions, because she obviously was not a fragile girl. She was like running around doing all this and that, going on trips. She was fine,
kicking dudes in the balls.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine
stabbed.
For at least the next 10 years. But I don't know. So you want specific because you wanted to talk about it so much. The kind of dream sequence.
Oh my
the letter.
God, that's beautiful.
Because he reads through all the diary parts, but then she left him a farewell letter in the back of the book.
And she's like, "Yeah, this book is yours now." And then like,
if you want to show people, you can. If not, it's fine.
Yeah, it's totally cool. But like, here's what I want you to know. And he's like, "I kind of liked you from the beginning, but you know."
Like she's like, I'd see you around. Like I'd see you walking around. So when she had given the speech about it not being a chance, wasn't.
She meant
she was like, I'm interested in this guy that's just fucking reading books all the time, and she like got into his life. She knew she knew what she was doing. She left the book. Was it implied?
I don't.
Was it implied that she left the book out on purpose?
I think
like
so.
You know what I mean?
Because she knew like his routes just by walking around with her.
Well, but she saw him in the hospital.
In the hospital,
and she knew that he loved books, so she probably like, I'm gonna leave this book right here real quick.
And she probably paid those kids.
And it's also too. What's also too is that the diary was like, recently started too, because some of the entries were like at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, she had just started this.
Beginning of the movie, or
like the events in the beginning of the movie, because they don't go dating anything back.
I want to eat your pancreas.
You know what I mean?
No. We're getting hung up on technicalities here. Remember?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyways, go ahead.
Anyways, like she recently started that diary. So we know like everything prior to that was planned. It had to been planned that she planted the thing there if she started the diary. And then the first thing she writes in it is her with the illness of the pancreas. So I'm pretty sure she planned everything.
Yeah, I thought that's kind of what I took away because she was like, it was not a chance. It was fucking me wanting to know who you were, and I got it. I got into your life.
Out of curiosity, how long do you think she knew she was dying before she started the diary? Or was
I think it was kind of. I think it was implied that she kind of had just maybe recently gotten the news because, like John said, she had just started the diary. The diary was new, kind of relatively. So I'm guessing she had just recently gotten the news.
Then you think that's what pushed her to try and meet him?
Maybe
because that's kind of like, man, that'd be nice to know. Anyway,
so we go into the like beautifully animated.
Oh, this dream! It's like a dream sequence almost, and she's like watering this plant, and it's like these sakura cherry blossoms.
Yeah, cherry blossoms.
Cherry blossoms.
And then this is where we get to know the protagonist's name.
Yeah, his name is. Fuck, I forgot.
Springtime, but I don't know the translation. Hajime?
No. Choose something with the his name
Haruki. I think it's Haruki.
His name means springs and her name means cherry blossoms.
Yeah, so
it's like the cherry blossoms in the spring.
And she's like, "Yeah,
I knew.
I think it was fate that we
was meant to be together." But
I think I lived my whole life waiting for you.
And he's like, no. While he's reading this, he's like responding. You hear his response to some of the things. He's like, I'm not that cool. No, I didn't do that much for you, but he did. And his response to what was it? I forgot what I was saying. Either way, I found really beautiful about this scene is she's like,
damn, even the internet doesn't give it the protagonist's name. It's just me.
Yeah, we didn't need. He's like, we didn't need. Or she's writing. She's like, we didn't need to use words like friendship or love or boyfriend or friend because our shit can't be described. Which I thought was like, oh man, that's
deep.
That's fucking love, man. Like,
we're gonna have that.
I know they didn't want to. She's like, we didn't need to describe this by earthly words.
Yeah,
we just knew what our feelings were, and it was love. It was fucking love, man. We cried.
Oh, I cried.
Haruki. Yeah,
called it. Yeah, because I remember I was like, it sounded like that one song.
Chikai. I'm just kidding.
No, by that band.
Man.
The same band who does the intro for this song. Also, the soundtrack for this movie, fucking gorgeous.
Yep.
Fucking gorgeous. Holy shit.
So we all cried.
We all cried a good bit. I cried a good bit.
I feel like there's more in there, that dream sequence. Like, there's a lot. Like, that dream sequence lasts like 10 minutes.
Because we get the name reveal of the main character.
And
then it's like, I was like, oh no. Well, the mom's like, oh, how fitting that your name means springtime. When my daughter's name was Sakura.
And then we get, like, after he's done with all that reading, he's like, I know you're not the person I should be asking this.
But is it okay if I cry now?
Oh, dude.
And so she's just like,
yeah, go for it, kid.
Not like that, but
she's like, yeah, I guess. You're in my house. I already gave you my
And
daughters.
he breaks down.
Oh,
like,
we all break down here.
This is where my heart just dropped. Mm-hmm. And this, like, I had tears in my eyes a little bit, but I wasn't crying yet. And then he started fucking wailing.
Yeah, and just like, man.
And the tears came out a little bit. The water.
I was already like, man, my eyes are gonna hurt.
I saw you like do this like a couple times.
Take off the glasses.
I had to take off my glasses and like wipe my eyes. I was like, man, the feels. So many fucking feels.
And that is the I Want to Eat Your Pancreas spoiler cast.
Not really. There's still a little bit more.
I mean, we can go.
Then there's like that sequence like at the end.
Where they go, where he goes
stay
back
after
to
the credits.
Well,
no, if you guys watch this.
Well, it's not even like that either. It's like, we also forgot about him wanting to be best friends with her best friend. Even though they're like total enemies. Like, he gets her to read the book.
Yeah, he does. He gives her the book and she gets pissed, which rightfully so. I'd be pissed if you were dying and you didn't tell me. And
I was like, why didn't she tell me this?
Dude that barely came into your life is like, hey, bro, I know you guys are best friends, but
like, yo,
here's everything.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what the?
Why didn't she tell me everything?
Yeah,
I would have quit my extra classes. Would have quit my club just to have more time with her.
And that's where the audio spiked again.
I'm sorry, I had to put feeling in there.
He does. He got to put that feeling.
We all felt that though. We all. Felt
and so
that.
he's like, let's be friends, and she's like, no,
we're not gonna be friends with you.
Yeah, and then weirdly, that's kind of the end of the movie.
Yeah,
like he visits her grave. I think
that's the end credits.
Yeah, and then
the end credits is like they're at the grave. It was like,
yeah, after the credits roll, we were just sitting around like talking about the movie a little bit, and then oh shit, there's another scene. Of course, it's like a year later.
Yeah.
They're friends now, of course. They go pray to the grave together. And what does he say? He's like,
let's be happy together forever.
And she's like,
you're
going to confess to me in front of Sakura, you asshole? And she's like, nah.
But do you want some? He's like, hey,
do you want some gum? Yeah. And he's like, you're really interested in gum now.
He's like, yeah, I've been interested in it for a bit now.
Yeah.
But we can't date until after the final exam, after entrance exam.
So yeah, so she gets, I guess, with the guy with the gum,
with Mr. Bubblegum.
Mr. Bubblegum.
And then they're like, hurry up, we gotta go to Sakura's house.
Because they're gonna
go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, before the movie ended too.
The mom
right after,
like,
mom's like, hey, it's really befitting that your name means spring. I would like, if possible, one day if you and
she says
Kyoko
every once in a while. So
yeah,
that's like she wants because she lost her child now, but obviously
is the husband still in the picture? Was it?
No, I think it was implied that he wasn't there.
Oof.
I don't know. Either way, so she just lost kids, but she wants to have a relationship with the people who made her daughter's life. Yeah, and that was Sakura and Haruki. Well, that was the spoiler cast for
I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
What a fucking movie it was.
What a beautiful
That is
movie.
One of the pantheons of like.
And you know what? Know what else too? It's gonna get snuff at the Oscars next year.
It is.
Why?
It will.
Why
it will.
It
will because it's gonna take. You know what's gonna snuff it? Boss Baby 2.
Yeah, didn't Boss Baby
snuffed? What
Your
was
Name?
it?
No, it wasn't your name. It was
a silent voice.
Yeah, a silent voice.
Oof.
And the World War II one.
Oh, in this corner of the world. Oh my
Boss
god.
Baby won.
Best
When fucking
animation?
a silent voice and
in the corner of
in this corner of the world was nominated. Fucking shame, Oscars. Shame on you.
That's another rant for another day, though.
This has been the spoiler cast for I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, and this has been the first episode of Senpai Notice My Podcast.
Please
I'm sorry.
Senpai Notice My Podcast. Like, subscribe.
Hit that thumbs up button and that
Follow.
bell notification so you get updated when we upload a new video.
Follow me on Twitter at Mig_AZ. No, Zerk520.
I actually don't know. I think it's Mig_AZ.
I think it's Zerk520. Fucking no.
Let's check right quick.
I know on Instagram I'm Mig_AZ. Follow Jose Mar on the following platforms.
Mig_AZ on Twitter.
Oh, you don't have any?
No, I just
deleted it all.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Follow me at Tagless02 on Twitter and also on Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you for watching. Please watch again.
Please watch again.
We don't have a cool
also
outro
go
saying.
watch I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
Please watch.
Oh well,
this
if they got this far without with the spoiler cast, they already watched it. Go watch it again.